to the power supply, and like one of those caps was kind of close to a grounding post and shorted to it, so I have to replace that. So I've got those caps on order. I'm replacing the 600 volt caps with 3000 volt caps, so maybe they'll be a little more resistant to that kind of thing. But yeah, man, apart from that, just kind of working and taking care of elderly parents and trying to squeeze in time for chores and still do radio. Matter of fact, this month I should be getting an SP600 in here, so yeah, we're still kind of still doing what we can there, Perry. How about you? What's going on out there? W3MMR, WD4NKA.
Yeah, WD4NKA, W3MMR. Well, great copy, Gary. Really good copy. Fantastic conditions here this morning. I'm very surprised, and I'm very happy that we have such good conditions, because my God, you're right in the room with me this morning, Gary. So, and like I said, I'm only around 20 watts, and you said you got me just fine, so that's great. Yeah, bummer about the Ranger. Yeah, I haven't had my Ranger in line in probably almost 8 months now, because I don't know if you remember the shunt for the grid current. On the meter shorted to ground and had a catastrophic meltdown of the meter switch, of the meter itself, blew up. I mean, it pegged all the way to the right and got stuck. The meter switch melted down, and I replaced the meter switch and of course the meter, and I can get the thing to I can get it to tune up on low power, okay? Because I did the mod where where you switch the jumpers in the octal plug, and you could lower the output to drive an amplifier with. Well, it'll tune up and work fine if I have it in the quote-unquote low power mode, which puts the low voltage, if I remember correctly, it puts the low voltage supply where the high voltage supply is supposed to be. Excuse my my lack of explanation, but I think you know what I'm talking about. And it'll modulate just fine. Okay, get full 120% modulation. I think sounds great. But when I flip the switch and go back to regular 50 watts of carrier, regular Ranger power, it'll tune up at 50 watts. However, when I go to modulate, everything starts to flat top, and like it has no headroom. Okay, like it's running out of headroom, you know. And I haven't been able to figure it out, and my dad hasn't been able to figure it out. I've been over to my dad's house for the past couple months, hoping that he might be able to get around to messing with it and see if he can't figure something out with it, but it's stumping him as well. So that's been kind of shelved for a while, but I've been seeing everybody getting, like you and your Ranger, and other folks have been getting, I think Dan, N8IE got his DX100, got another DX100, and I've seen guys who have really been digging into some projects, and I don't know if you saw, I just built in a 10-meter Yagi for 10 meters there, so I've been looking to get my hands back in some projects, so I'm getting motivated to work on the Ranger again. So hopefully one of these days I'll head over to Jersey. Maybe me and my dad can put our head together and figure it out, or bring it back here and mess with it over time, you know. But yeah, besides that, Gary, nothing. This is the first time I've been on 40 meter AM, and I can't even remember how long. So it's really good to hear you here this morning, Gary. A fantastic signal, and good on everything else going on. We got about 71 degrees up here this morning. It's been raining like crazy the past 2 days here. It's kind of subsided at the moment. We're got about a 50% chance of more rain today, but I'm not complaining because we've needed it. But yesterday was like a constant downpour all day there, Gary. So, yep, got to go to work here in a little while, but I figured I'd get up and do some radio this morning. Back down to you, Gary. WD4NKA, W3MMR. I don't know if you're getting any of that broadcast, but
right at 6 o'clock, a broadcaster pops in there. If you want, we can queue us right down to 5 KCs down to 7285. Roger that. Get myself a little bit better zeroed in there. I should be near it anyway. W3MMR, this is WD4NKA. Can you hear me? By the way, it's not always that this kind of propagation happens. Very typically, it's more of an east-west kind of thing. Like right now, I'm putting a signal in on the island of Maui, out in the Hawaiian Islands. The SDR up there in Maui is usually kind of what I use to determine, the propagation. And north-south, I use K3FEF, and typically this time in the morning, I don't put anything up there. So, yeah, maybe things are changing around. Maybe things are getting back to normal, although I keep saying that. And QSO on the issues with your Rangers. Well, that's a bummer. I'll tell you what. And they, as simple as they say those Rangers are, they're not that simple. And there are things. There's so many domino effects that go on, and I guess the challenge of repairing a radio is to trace back to the first domino that drops. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I couldn't tell you a lot about my Johnson until I first opened up the book and refamiliarized myself. I just don't carry that stuff with me, so never really had the brain for that. That's part of the reason why I'm just a general. I never went to my advanced, is because, or I got my extras because all the information. I don't know. I don't carry a lot of information well. I have a very small hard drive. It's a good hard drive, but it's a small one. W3MMR,
Constantly, come on, go ahead, get your extra, so and so got it. I know you can get it. I know I could get it, I'm sure, but I got to dedicate a lot of time to it, a lot of time and effort that I haven't been willing to put in yet, because I enjoy my general. I enjoy where I can go and what I can do at the moment, and it gets me by for now, that's for sure. But yeah, we'll hopefully dig back into the Ranger here soon and get it figured out. And Gary, I went through and I replaced a lot of stuff. I replaced the mod transformer, low voltage, high voltage choke. The only thing I didn't do was replace the high voltage and the high voltage, low voltage transformers. The only thing I haven't done yet. And luckily, I have multiple parts Rangers over here, that can donate things to it, so I can swap things out. But I think the last thing I did was replace the filter choke, and that didn't do it. And I just threw my hands up in the air and said, "To hell with it." So, well, anyway, Gary, I'm gonna bid adieu, man. I gotta run down the hall, hit the command center, and I'm gonna go fill up on this coffee mug. But I'll send it back down to you, Gary. I'm going to let you make one more, man. We'll sit here and listen out. But really, really good catching you here this morning, Gary, no matter how short it was. And if I come back and the broadcast stations haven't completely taken over and you're still here, we'll continue this hopefully in about 5 or 10 minutes. WD4NKA, W3MMR. Back to you, Gary. W3MMR, WD4NKA. Yeah, I caught
the first part of the first part of your last transmission was a little rough, but then your signal picked up again. So there's a lot of QSB that's starting to get in there. But that's one of the challenges of 40 meters is, yeah, you really kind of have to work at it, and that's always been sort of attractive to me. It's definitely not given to large. When I'm on at 5 in the morning Eastern time or at 4:30, it's only like 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the evening over there. So I still say that a contact with the Hawaiian Islands on AM is certainly plausible. But we'll wait and see. Go ahead and get your coffee then, Terry. I'm going to go and do the same thing, and we'll see what it does in the next few minutes. We're going through the dark side of the gray line. The band can switch around and flip around and do all kinds of things. It's like a roller coaster here. W3MMR, WD4NKA.
Yeah, WD4NKA, W3MMR. Switch the amplifier on. Hello. There we go. Now we got some audio. Anyway, Gary, good to hear you this morning, man. And yeah, I pulled up that web SDR in Maui. And I could see my carrier. I don't know if I could hear me, but I could see the carrier, and I saw yours as well. But now that I've fired up the amplifier, I can really see things. It's only run about 150 watts now, but definitely helps. That's for sure. And yeah, boy, oh boy, that broadcast station below us is really hitting it hard. I think we woke up the beasts, man. But anyway, Gary, seriously, man, really good to hear you this morning. Been a while since we worked on the air. Obviously, I see you and hear you a lot online, but it's always a pleasure to get to hear your voice on the airwaves, man. And hope all is well down there. Tell the family we said hello. We'll send our blessings down that way, and keep it up with the print and stuff too. It always amazes me with the print, all the letterpress and things that you do down there as well. It's very intriguing. It's very cool, man. Love to see the other hobbies that people are into and real passionate about, man. So keep it up, Gary. We'll catch you later, man. 7-3. Have a fantastic day, man, and hopefully we'll catch you here or down on 75 real soon. WD4NKA 73 from W3MMR. Catch you later, Gary.
All right, Gary. Catch you like a while ago. Hey, I was thinking, I don't know if you saw my post about the beer mats, the beer coasters, because I'm a big fan of the old German beer coasters. I was thinking of making QSL card beer coasters, just for the heck of it. And, do the old, Pabst Blue Ribbon kind of lettering around it, but put the call sign and the address and all that kind of thing on it. I don't think anybody's doing QSL beer coasters, so this is an idea. I might do that. Good talking with you, Perry. Man, I'll tell you what, it's been a while, and you'll find me here. Eventually I'll get around throwing some radials up on the roof for 75 meters and get back up there, but I'm going to wait till after the hurricane season goes by for that. So right now I'm pretty well lodged here on 40, and it's fun. W3MMR signed and getting coffee. WD4 never kiss alligators, doing likewise.
Dude, sign me up for a beer coaster. Sign me up for a beer coaster QSL card, because that's awesome. Yeah, that's what made me think. You maybe mention that, Gary, was the beer coasters. It was still fresh in my mind. So, cool stuff, man. Definitely cool stuff. We'll catch you later, Gary. 7-3. Have a fantastic day, and it's always a pleasure. WD4NKA, W3MMR. 7-3 for now, Gary.
7-3, Perry.